Well, I can't say I'm surprised, but I am disappointed in the actions of Caden Cassidy and the Empire during that arm wrestling contest. We should have known early on that it was never going to be on the up and up.
What did you expect? You pushed Caden Cassidy up against the wall. Like a cornered animal, he fought back against the oppression of you, the interference, the oppression of Amira, and he stood tall, and yet you still continue to denigrate him. Now, what's next for Caden? What indignity will you make Caden Cassidy suffer now?
Well, I'll tell you what, if Caden wants a piece of Amira so bad, then in 3 weeks' time, he's going to get it, because Amira is going to take on the entire Empire in a gauntlet match. She asked for this, and she's going to get it. She's going to wrestle Dr. Cleaver. She's going to wrestle King Naja, and if she defeats them both, then she's got a one-way ticket to a one-on-one confrontation in the ring with the Kingpin, Caden Cassidy. Not an arm wrestling contest, not a track meet, not an obstacle course, a wrestling match.
On that very same night, the same segment, un, deux, trois, like dominoes.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be all one after the other.
Well, what's to say that Dr. Cleaver and King Naja don't have their way with Amira? Turn all that muscle into shredded beef and then just throw them to the hungry lion.
Well, keep in mind, Amira has never been defeated in POW Pro Wrestling, and I think that she is strong enough to take on the entire Empire at this point. I've seen what she can do. You've seen it too. And I'm very confident that with Amira having the right motivation, and after what we saw here, I think she's plenty motivated to tackle the Empire. Well, folks, it's time for our main event this week for the POW Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. The Midnight Heat, Eddie Pearl and Ricky Gibson defending against Spencer Scott and Zay Perez of the Flamin Aces. This is going to be a terrific matchup. It's the present of tag team wrestling here in the Northwest versus arguably the future. One of the fastest rising stars, the fastest rising tandems, I should say, in all of POW Pro Wrestling. This is their biggest opportunity to date.
Right, Flamin Aces faced adversity. They burned through it this year, and now they have a chance. That's the big one. But what will those pesky Hammer brothers think, you know? They were in the building here for this match. Do you think that they will try to keep the belts on Ricky and Eddie so that they can beat them for them themselves, or were they more inclined to help the Aces win, eh?
Well, who really knows what goes on in the minds of the Hammer brothers? Those guys, you know, no pun intended, I think they have a couple of screws loose at times. But be that as it may, I think this has the potential to be one of the best matches of 2024. We already saw the Midnight Heat and the Hammer brothers in the best match of 2023. Will the streak continue for our current champions? Let's find out in this week's main event.
If you don't know, you should, and if you do, you know that's rockin' Ricky Gibson. I'm Eddie Pro, but you can call me Precious, and we are the hottest thing going today, the new POW Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Heat. If you want to be the very best, you got to hold these titles. You got to defend these belts any chance you can, and tonight, the Flamin Aces get an opportunity to see why they call us the Midnight Heat. And we have absolutely no intention of losing these titles anytime soon. Because they say only the good die young. Well, guess what? You better expect us to be around for a very long time.
Spencer Scott and Zay Perez, together they are the Flamin Aces. And this week here on POW, they have their first crack at the POW Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Guys are going against the Midnight Heat. Their reputation speaks for itself. What's your mindset going into this?
Like you said, the Midnight Heat is one of the best tag teams over here in the PNW, but me and Spencer have had a hell of a year. So do you think some heat is going to be able to stop the fire of the Flamin Aces? I don't think so.
Listen, Brian Zane, it's no secret that if it was not for the Midnight Heat, we would not be standing in this building right now talking into this microphone. But if they think that that's going to play a factor in tonight's match, they must not be paying attention to the product. Because this is for the POW Tag Team Championships. And this is the Flamin Aces home. This is where we found ourselves, where we became the tag team we are today. And Midnight Heat, tonight you're in the ring against two aces. And everyone knows when you go against two aces, the odds are not in your favor. Hit him with it, Zay.
Always bets on aces.
All right, it's Aces versus the Midnight Heat. Tag titles. It's happening next. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a main event we have for you this week here on POW Pro Wrestling. The tag titles are on the line.
as the Midnight Heat with their first defense against the ever-popular Flamin Aces. And for this week's main event, folks, I'm joined on commentary by the former champions. I'm talking about Jack and Sledge, the Hammer Brothers. Gentlemen, welcome.
What's shaking, Z-Man? We're happy to be here with you.
Hold on. I gotta put on my glasses. I can't see nothing.
Tell you what, the action is going to be fast and furious here for the tag titles. And you got to believe. Wait a minute.
Hey, what's this?
Wait a minute. Hang on. Now.
That looks like a screwdriver. They get that out of our toolbox.
Oh, wait a minute. Could be it. Could be doing two. Oh, wow. That was close. I tell you what, we know that the Midnight Heat are not beyond going to the well of the weapons one too many times. But, I mean, they almost got caught at the outset. Look at this. Oh, head scissors attempt by Perez is blocked by the much larger Pearl. Coming up, though, lands on his feet as Perez, but is laid out with that clothesline. I tell you what, guys, it was the Midnight Heat who beat you for those belts. What's your mindset here as you're watching this matchup right now?
I'll tell you what, you were saying earlier about how they're not above cheating. We know that all too well. We've seen it firsthand. We've wrestled the Midnight Heat up and down the Pacific Northwest, and that's about all they do is cheat. Now, don't get me wrong. They're great, tremendous athletes. They wouldn't be the tag team champions if they weren't, but I just can't stand how they always tend to take the easy way out.
Look at this. Nothing easy about that. Big tilt-a-whirl head scissors by the Playboy, who's, no pun intended, on fire right now. Look out! Oh, caught in midair by Ricky Gibson and brought down hard with a slam. The champions are certainly on top of their game. That's always really never been in doubt for as long as I've been calling their matches. Another big body slam sends Zay crashing into the mat.
And there you see it, Z-Man. Tremendous athlete, this Ricky Gibson, but I tell you, I've known Ricky for a few years now. The guy is so boring and so irritating. Look, his own hair didn't want to stick around to see the rest of his wrestling career.
Oh, bold claim there. Bit of a cheap shot by Spencer Scott. Referee Buddy Ruth letting it go, though. Big drop kick now by Perez, who is still the legal man, and the Flamin Aces are looking pretty strong here. I don't know if the champions were expecting this much fight from the get-go. Tag made to Scott now. You can see Gibson, he's trying to fight out of his predicament. Look at this now.
Nice double team here.
There's double team maneuvering there by the challengers. I'll tell you what, the Aces have had a hell of a year. They have done very well for themselves. Of course, their record against Jonas, Albert Robinson, and the Jarmy speaks for itself. Nice armbar applied here by Scott as Gibson has the wheels in motion to try and get out of here.
Don't get me started on Jonas Albert Robinson Jar. I'd like to twist his top off, Z-Man.
Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Nice backbreaker by the hot shot. Trying to transition, picks him up and possibly suplex, and he connects.
This could be it.
Nice combination. 1, 2. No, not quite. Tell you what, I've seen both of these teams, but especially the Midnight Heat, in some serious wars. It's going to take more than that to put them away.
Yes, it is. You know what? We've been really impressed with the Flamin Aces. We've kept our eye on them. With us being at the top of the tag team division, we need to scout potential future opponents. And we've been real impressed with the Flamin Aces.
So now here, going to face off here. Meeting of the minds, possibly. Guys, let's try and keep it clean. This is for the Tag Team Championships. I think both teams know the gravity of the situation. Really what's weighing so heavily here.
This Eddie Pearl, let me tell you, Z-Man, this Eddie Pearl, I can't stand the guy. I said, oh, here we go. Spencer shoots him off.
Oh, look at this. Oh! Look at this quick cover attempts now by Spencer Scott. Now, Jack, I got to ask you here, if you're looking at this, are you possibly scouting for your future opponents?
Oh, absolutely. And it would be great to wrestle the Flamin Aces. Now, we don't really have a personal problem with these guys. They're tremendous athletes. We would love to try to get the titles back from them. But don't think for a second that we are going to forget about what the Midnight Heat did to us. So one way or another, we're getting those titles back, and we will get revenge on the Midnight Heat.
Strong words by one half of the former champions, Jack Sledge. Now, let me ask you, Jack, I know you guys mentioned that the concussion protocol did not pass, which is why you're not wrestling here this week, but how is the knee? Oh my goodness, big back body drop. Look at Spencer getting out of this predicament here. Let's get back to that question. Jack, can I ask how the knee's feeling?
The knee's doing fine. I got a brace on it. I've been working at the job site. Long hours. It's holding up just fine. I did get a scan on my brain. The doctor says...
Oh!
Ooh, nice double suplex. The doctor says my brain looks like applesauce, but that's no matter.
Well, that is concerning. We certainly wish you the best in the recovery. Look at the elevation by Spencer Scott there. Going for the cover is Perez, not quite enough on Eddie Pearl.
Almost had Eddie there. Let me tell you something about Eddie Pearl. He comes out here and he pulls his trunks down, pretending to moon people because he's just a sick, disturbed individual.
Look at how Pearl quickly caught Zay off guard and got that top wrist lock there. You know what, the Midnight Heat, people want to question their tactics, but really they're not doing anything too flashy or, too complicated. It's really simple fundamentals and they're doing it well. Whoa, look at this.
Hey.
But that is nothing fundamental about that counter, but look at the cohesiveness of Scott and Perez here. They are on fire, to say the least, and they could be the next POW Tag Champions.
Very impressive double drop kick there.
Now the champions are...
Hey.
Oh, hang on, guys.
Hey, you watch it, Eddie.
Keep it going
I'm about
here.
2 seconds from getting up and kicking his ass.
Gentlemen, let's keep it civil, all right?
I'm not too far from dragging you out of the ring and beating you into dust, pal.
The champion's back in the ring area now. Perez swinging anything that moves. Look at Gibson now with a slingshot into the backbreaker. Wow, that bent him right in half. Cover applied, 2. Oh, boy, that was almost lights out for the Flamin' Aces.
Tremendous matchup here, Z-Man. The Hammer Brothers no doubt will have their hands full with either one of these teams, but you gotta understand that we are simply built different.
Well, that is certainly a miss. Oh my goodness. Tell you what, that's an understatement to be certain. That could, oh man. Another double team move kicked out of just in the nick of time by Perez, who's really been just taking the lion's share of the beating so far, as Pearl now continues to taunt.
He needs to focus a little bit more on his opponent in the ring and not so much of the guy sitting on commentary.
I mean, you got him dead to rights, Sledge. I'll say that much. They need to focus on what's going on in the ring if they want to hold on to their belts. Big snap suplex applied. Could be it. Nope.
Now you see the frustration setting in. As Sledge said, I think he needs to focus a little bit more on the Flamin' Aces. Hey now, ref, come on, get control of this.
Possible bedlam here. Buddy Roof is distracted now as both champions really taking their liberties here.
This is what I'm talking about, Z-Man.
Look at this. You've got Pearl choking the life out of Perez. Oh, and a big knee to the side of the head for good measure by Gibson. The Playboy is in a bad way right now. And now you got Gibson here making eyes once again at the team they defeated for the belts.
See, look at these dirty tactics. This is what I'm talking about. I'll tell you right now, I want my revenge on the Midnight Heat. We both do. But if we had to choose who we want to take our belts back from, it would be the Flamin' Aces, because at least they have a little bit of honor, a little bit of integrity. All the Midnight Heat do is cheat and take shortcuts.
Oh, well, certainly that is something that has been documented. Look at this, nice cover applied though. Oh, tell you what, that was almost it.
Zay showing a little fight here. He's got to make that tag to Spencer.
And now Gibson looking for the next move in the strategy here. Oh, big forearm shiver right to the mush, knocking Perez out in his feet. Oh, but did you see that counter in midair? That was, wow. The quick thinking of Perez, but he walked right into that right hand by Gibson.
Ricky went to the well one too many times there with that back suplex, but caught Zay with that vicious forearm.
Some more double team maneuvers in the future here for the reigning tag team champions, taking advantage of that 5 count. And of course you got, look at this.
Look at this tool bag.
The mind games are fully in motion, fully in effect here as the champions continue to apply pressure to young Zay Perez. Look at this. And this, oh my goodness.
Come on, buddy. Get him off the ropes. Get him off the ropes.
Go! Pearl just picking the bones at this point of Perez. And Buddy Ruth has got to exercise the control here. This feels like more than 5 seconds in the ropes.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. You couldn't do it like me, pal. Not on my worst day.
The jaw-jacking continuing here between Pearl and the Hammer brothers. So far, it's not come out to bite them in the you-know-what, but this match is still ongoing. Oh, big knife-edge chop.
Now you can hear the powder keg getting into it. Let's see if Zay's got some fight in him. He's got to make that tag to the hot shot.
Absolutely, he has been taking a pummeling in that ring. You gotta believe Scott, inches away from a tag. Look at all the strength that Zay is utilizing to pull away. Oh, big right hand with a grip of Gibson still in there. Oh, that is a brilliant defensive maneuver by Gibson to put all his weight down and drag Zay to the mat. Tag made here to Gibson, or to Pearl, I should say.
Here comes that pile of crap, Eddie Pearl. As I was saying, Z-Man, he likes to pull his trunks down and pretend to moon everybody. It's disgusting.
The mooning's the least of the Flamin Aces problems right now.
That's true.
And now you've got Pearl up on the second rope here, continuing to mock all those who dare question the heat. And now these big right hands raining down upon Perez, who is absolutely possibly trapped here, but look at him try and push out, but that upper body, he gets him away. Big inverted atomic drop, and this might be Perez's best chance. Pearl's crawling quickly over to his corner. Gibson tags in, he gets in between them. Look at that big right hand knocking Scott off the apron and practically onto the floor. Boy, that might have been Zay's best opportunity to get some breathing room, and right now he's back in the wrong side of town.
That's what Ricky's all about, those cheap shots. You see it every single match.
But check out the resiliency, another 2 count here. I don't know what Zay Perez ate for breakfast, but he is just pushing along here, withstanding a lot of punishment.
Oh God, he's gonna eat. Ooh.
Look at this, blocked.
Here we go.
Perez showing the fire. Look at this nice evasive maneuver. He makes the tag. Scott's in there. It's legal. He's on the warpath. Big flying attack followed by the arm drag. The hip toss. Spencer Scott's been waiting for eons to get in the ring, and look at him go.
Hot shots rolling. Keep it going.
Here we go. Scott with the Irish whip. It's reversed. Spencer is back body drop, catches himself on the apron. Big kick. And look at this defensive play here by Scott, who has been busted open, but showing no signs of it slowing him down. Big springboard double elbow. Wow. Look at the gumption of the hot shot tonight. Big up and down.
This could be,
Now, one-man wrecking crew has been Scott, but now Pearl getting in there, snuffing out the momentum, possibly throws it out.
See ya, Eddie.
Tell you what, this matchup for the POW Tag Team Championships, every bit as good as advertised, but I believe that turnbuckle was exposed, gentlemen.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice it.
When did that pad come off? Buddy Ruth letting it go.
Spencer's in trouble.
Now wait a minute.
We've seen this.
Hot seat. Ooh. That's devastation right there, and that's gonna do it. That's how to be it. Scott is out. Here are your winners, and still
Hey! The winners are the Flamin Aces, not the Midnight Heat!
Sledge, that's not how it works. That isn't how it works, Sledge. The Hammers now, I'm playing ring announcer here. I'm not sure what they have in mind. Guys, come on, you already won the match. Oh no, they're going for the hot seat again. Guys, come on, you gotta get in there. You gotta do something. Oh no! Hot seat with a belt assist. I tell you what, the Flamin Aces playing ring announcer here saying that the Aces won the match. That is not the case. The Midnight Heat won the match. No controversy. The POW tag titles stay around the waist and the shoulders of Gibson and Pearl on this night. But you gotta believe this war between the Hammer brothers and the Heat is far from over. You gotta believe that Jack and Sledge are gonna do anything to get back on the job site and reclaim those belts. But look at this now. Come on. Oh no! Come on, get in between them, security. What the heck? Jack Hammer's been totally laid out with that POW championship belt. My goodness.
What a hard-fought victory by our tag team champions. They did win and retain the belts, but then you saw what happened. The Hammer brothers trying to get involved and save the Flamin Aces from a further beatdown. Now Jack Hammer is laid out.
That's right, his little bell got rung yet again. Midnight Heat won 2 matches in one night. They beat the Aces and they beat those Hammer brothers down, send them back to the construction zone where they belong, never to return, never to challenge Midnight Heat. Midnight Heat will reign supreme forever and ever as the POW Tag Team Champions, I think. Huh?
You may be right, mister, but never say never in POW Pro Wrestling. You can't keep a good couple of guys like Jack and Sledge down despite what we saw in the ring there after the main event. And I can assure you this feud between the Midnight Heat and the Hammers is far from over. Well, folks, next week here on POW Pro Wrestling, we've got more championship gold on the line. It's going to be a tremendous ladder match for the richest prize in all of YouTube. I'm talking about the Wrestling with Regret YouTube Championship, as Chris Brady defends against the unbelievable Jaden and Outlandish Enterprises' brother, Levi Shapiro. Before we wrap up and sign off for this week, folks, let's take you to a recap of how this whole match came about. That's all for next week, but for Mr. Ooh La La, I'm Brian Zane, and we'll see you next time.
Next time we're here, we're going to have that YouTube championship suspended above the ring. And we're going to have ourselves, you and Jaden, challenging Brady for the YouTube